In the middle of a busy city, there was a forgotten, empty piece of land. It was full of weeds and trash. A group of neighbors decided to turn it into a community garden. Many people came to help, but let us meet three of them. First, there was Arthur, an old man who had recently retired. He moved slowly, and his hands trembled a little. In his mind, he was useless. "I am just a bother," he often thought to himself. He believed that the younger people saw him as a weak old man who was always in the way. Because of this, he only did the smallest jobs. He would pick up little pieces of trash or pull up the tiniest weeds, staying out of everyone's path. Next, there was Maya, a young woman full of energy. She was always laughing and telling jokes. She was great at making people smile. But inside, she felt she was not serious or smart. "People only like me because I'm fun," she believed. She thought everyone saw her as the clown, someone you couldn't trust with an important task. So, even though she had wonderful ideas for how to design the garden, she kept them to herself, afraid people would laugh at her. Finally, there was Ben, a big, strong man who worked in construction. He was very quiet and rarely spoke. Because he was so big and silent, he thought he was scary. "People are afraid of me," he concluded. He was sure that others saw him as just muscle, maybe even a little dumb. So he kept to himself. He did all the heavy work alone, like digging up big rocks and carrying heavy bags of soil, never asking for help or joining a conversation. The garden project moved along. Arthur quietly did his small tasks. Maya kept everyone's spirits high with her humor. Ben did all the hard labor in silence. Each of them was trapped in a prison they had built for themselves, a prison made of what they thought other people thought of them. One afternoon, the sky turned dark. A big storm was coming, much sooner than expected. The wind grew strong and a heavy rain began to fall. The new small plants they had just put in the ground were in danger. The group's new wooden shed, which was only half built, could be blown apart. Everyone started to panic. They ran around, not sure what to do first. Suddenly, Maya, the fun one, shouted, "Everyone stop! I have a plan." Her voice was clear and confident. She wasn't joking. She quickly gave everyone a job. "You three get the plastic sheets to cover the plants. You four bring the hammers and nails to secure the shed." People were surprised, but they listened. Her plan made perfect sense. To protect the young trees from the wind, they needed to tie them to strong sticks, but no one knew how to tie a knot that would hold in the strong wind. Then Arthur, the old man, stepped forward. "I know a way," he said calmly. His hands, which he always thought were shaky and useless, moved with perfect skill. He showed everyone a special knot that his father had taught him. The knot was strong and secure. His years of experience, which he saw as just being old, were exactly what they needed. The biggest problem was a large pile of wooden planks that needed to be moved inside the shed. It was too heavy. Even Ben, the strong man, was struggling. He was trying to move it all by himself, believing he had to. "It's no use," he said, breathing heavily. Maya and Arthur ran over to him. "You can't do it alone, Ben," Maya said. "I don't want you to get hurt," Ben replied, thinking he had to protect them. "Then teach us," Arthur said gently. "Tell us how we can help. You know about building." Ben was surprised. They weren't seeing him as a scary brute. They were seeing him as an expert. For the first time, he became a leader. He showed them exactly where to lift and how to work together. The three of them, the clown, the old man, and the scary giant, moved the wood together. When the storm passed, the garden was safe. That day, something changed for them all. People came to Maya to ask for her ideas. They saw her not as a jester, but as a creative leader. People started asking Arthur for his advice on the plants, seeing him not as old but as wise. And people began talking to Ben, asking for his help and not just his strength. They saw him not as intimidating, but as a kind and knowledgeable teacher. They had each spent so long believing a story about themselves. They thought they knew what other people thought, but they were wrong. They were not what they thought they were. They were what the community already saw them as: a leader, a wise elder, and a gentle guide. In working together, they didn't just save the garden, they set themselves free.